After the release of the first Metroid game, everyone was waiting for a sequel. While 1991 saw the release of Metroid 2: Return of Samus, it wasn't the next big thing that everyone was hoping for. And after 8 whole years, we finally saw the release of Super Metroid in 1994. On the iconic Super Nintendo Entertainment System, everyone had great expectations from this game, but no one could have expected it to define an entire genre. Alongside Castlevania's Symphony of the Night, this game ended up forming the Metroidvania genre, which have served as an inspiration for countless video games that came after. So, what makes Super Metroid such a timeless classic? What does this game have that other action-adventure games didn't have at that time? The gameplay. Let's start with the most game part of a video game, which are its mechanics. What sets Super Metroid apart from other games at that time was its focus on exploration and non-linear progression. When most side-scrolling games were merely about going left or right on the screen and beating people up, Super Metroid featured complicated level design, which allowed players to explore the world around them at their own pace. The more you explored, the more you discovered, and it felt like a very rewarding experience. Since it was possible to get lost due to the non-linear approach to progression, a minimap was added that helped players pay more attention to where they're headed. On top of that, the game constantly made the player feel upgraded the more they played it. Power-ups such as the Morph Ball, which allows Samus to curl up into a ball and roll around, and the Speed Booster, which allows Samus to run at high speeds and crash into barriers, added a lot of variety to how the player chooses to approach their environment. Atmosphere and design. The atmosphere of Super Metroid didn't just impress people back when it originally came out, as even today, many gamers consider it to be a high point for the genre. There's a feeling of sci-fi dread to the environments that Samus visits in the game, and every corner has something exciting that you can discover, even if it's just danger. The graphics of this game contribute beautifully to this, as the SNES's superior hardware for its time allowed the game to support detailed level design in gorgeous colors. All of it combined for a game that was colorful, but not in a cartoonish way. The sound design of this game spared no expense either, as it complements the visual design greatly when it comes to setting up the game's unique atmosphere. The level design of this game is nothing short of genius, as it's far more than just a large number of rooms connected to each other. And what's fascinating is that it's not designed to confuse the player, regardless of the lack of linearity. Somehow, the game always nudges the player into the right direction. And even if you go to the wrong place, you'll still find something important that you needed later anyway. Locations like Norfair and Brinstar were massively upgraded from the first game, and became iconic places in Super Metroid that gamers always remember when we talk about the level design. And enemies like Ridley and Kraid are easily some of the best that you would encounter in this genre. And it was mind-blowing to see such iconic enemies at that time in a 2D video game. It's no surprise that one of them even ended up in Smash Bros. Cultural impact. Super Metroid is considered one of the greatest video games ever made, and it isn't just a title you see and forget about. No, the game has actively influenced the genre for decades to come. Future Metroid games drew heavily from the improvements and mechanics of Metroid, and other games in the genre were inspired by it too, alongside Symphony of the Night. The fact that a game's name can become permanently part of a genre like Metroidvania did is no small feat, and it proves how much of a cultural phenomenon this game has become over time. Indie games in particular have taken great inspiration from Super Metroid in the past couple of years, as it remains a favorite for those who are passionate about the genre. The game also has a very massive presence in the speedrunning community due to its open-ended structure, which is exploitable in terms of sequence breaking, especially since the game gives the player rewards based on how quickly they beat it. Even to this day, it's a game that people play a lot, hoping to find new ways to beat it even faster than before. There are many ROM-hacks created for Super Metroid as well, which include new features and expanded areas that were not originally present in the game. Conclusion. When you look at the gameplay, atmosphere, level design, graphics, and enemy design of Super Metroid, it's no surprise the game is considered as great as it is. However, there's a special feeling you can only get from experiencing the game that really makes you understand what makes it such a timeless classic. A feeling you can't simply put into words. You have to experience its unique level design, the freedom it grants the player, and its atmosphere, Do you remember why you fell in love with it to begin with? I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear your favorite memories of playing this game, or any experience about your playthrough that you wish to share about Super Metroid. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit the bell icon for instant notifications.